everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So I did film this makeup look. It's just a kind of wintry, cool toned makeup look that I used or that I created using my Natasha Denona Glam Palette. So I'm not sure the order of these videos. It's probably going to be up before this one, so be sure to check that one out, especially if you're wondering you know, about the eye look or whatever. But today's video is going to be about a high-end makeup starter kit. So I have done one of these before, revolving around drugstore makeup, of course, and so I wanted to do the same but for high-end makeup. I love Sephora so much. My husband and I call it Sephora Land because that's what they called it in Gilmore Girls, I believe, and literally it is like my happy place. I could be in there for hours and hours and hours and hours and just never get bored or tired and feel hungry or anything. Like I love that place. But anyways, because of that, I really wanted to offer, you know, some of my favorite high-end products, but not just my favorites. Products that really do stand out to me as far as, you know, like if you were to get a starter kit going for yourself, maybe you don't have a lot of high-end makeup within your collection and you're wanting to branch out a little bit, or maybe you feel a little bit intimidated by Sephora because of the higher price tag, maybe because there's a lot of brands at Sephora that maybe aren't at Ulta, things like that. So these products, you can find some of them. You can find both at Ulta and Sephora, so totally choose, you know, the place that's best for you as far as like your makeup shopping needs and all of that. But yes, let's just go ahead and get started. So the primer that I really just recommend if you are wanting to splurge and you're wanting to experience a high-end product, that is the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. I'm so sorry, I'm a broken record about this one, but this is the only primer that I recommend you pay the price tag for. This video is not about makeup that's worth the price. This video is like, if I could recommend high-end makeup to people, this is what I would start with. And so the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas, is just kind of like your all-in-one encompassing primer, and that's why I think it goes perfectly into this starter kit, because if you're wanting something that's a little bit hydrating, this is going to have that in here. If you're wanting something that smooths your skin, that blurs your pores, that is going to be in here. And then of course, something that's going to prolong your makeup wear, that is going to be in here too. So I just feel like, you know, this is the primer that does so many things in just one primer, and that is why I think that this belongs in the starter kit. So not only is it a holy grail, not only is it a favorite, the fact that it does so much, I think that it's just perfect for the starter kit. Now, surprisingly enough, I do not have a foundation in my starter kit. I'm an advocate for drugstore foundation. That is the one category that I do not recommend high-end. I have so many favorites from the drugstore. I love my Believe Beauty foundation. I love my Physicians Formula Healthy foundation. I love the new like L'Oreal True Match like hyaluronic serum foundation. I love the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It foundation. That is a stunning event foundation for me. I wore that for my graduation. I mean, there are just so many really beautiful, high performing drugstore or foundations at the drugstore that I don't think you need to spend the money, you know. Now, if you are looking for one, definitely search up some reviews. There are so many that I'm still curious about trying, but so far, I just don't see that much of a difference between high-end and drugstore. Like, drugstore is just outperforming times 10. I do have a concealer, however, and this is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. I really have enjoyed this one this year. This is a concealer that I discovered this year in 2021. I do have the shade 22N. I thoroughly enjoy this one. It's full coverage, it's hydrating enough. It's definitely not as hydrating as, let's say, like the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, but I still think that it's a better formula than the original Shape Tape. and it's almost like an upgraded version of it, if you know what I mean. So I really enjoy this one. I picked mine up from the Tarte's website, but you can of course find this at Sephora or Ulta, and there are so many shades as well. Now we're going to get into powder. Now the loose powder that I just cannot recommend enough is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I have a mini here that I actually purchased at TJ Maxx, believe it or not. Nowadays, it's a little bit more difficult to find this powder in discount stores, but I still would pay the price for this one because it is such a good powder. And again, I think it belongs in this, you know, in this starter kit because it prolongs your makeup wear. It really does set down any type of foundation. It doesn't mattify, but it just smooths the skin. And I think that it's a perfect kind of like satin, velvety type of powder because again, it doesn't really add any glow. It doesn't add any, you know, mattification, but it still does something to your skin. Like I feel like sometimes you can put on a powder and you're like, okay, well, I don't really know if that did very much. This, you can actually see the effects that it has on your skin when you apply this. And it really does help with prolonging your makeup. So I love that powder. And I even recommend the mini if you're wanting to test it out. Another powder, this is actually, well, this is technically a foundation, I guess, but this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I have the shade 185, and I have fallen in love with this product this year. I love this powder foundation. I have actually never worn this strictly as my foundation. I love to use this on days where I'm not pretty much wearing, I'm not really wearing any makeup at all, maybe just some sunscreen, and then I'm just wanting to get some coverage. So I just apply this with like, kind of like a kabuki brush almost. And this just gives me some coverage, but it also evens out the skin tone. But it also, it is very long wearing. This powder foundation has been an ultimate favorite of mine for the year of 2021. And what I love about it too is I can wear a mask like all day long and this powder foundation will still be on my skin. Like my skin will still look good. Now, keep in mind, this is not as full coverage as I think it's marketed as. I think that there are probably more full coverage powder foundations out there, but I think that for what I want this product to do for me, I think it's enough, if that makes sense. So I just recommend this one, and I think soft matte is a beautiful way to describe this because it isn't too matte, but it's of course not like luminous either. It's just a good kind of soft matte, satin matte kind of powder foundation. So I love this one, and because it's Fenty, you know that there are tons of shades available. So I highly recommend that one. Another thing that I wanted to mention is I wanted to talk about other things that maybe I don't talk about a lot on my channel. So, you know, I always talk about the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer. I'm gonna mention another one in today's video because I don't wanna be redundant. Like I want to recommend other things in my collection as well because there are so many products in my collection that I love. Another powder, this is a pressed powder. Now, I have mentioned this one quite a bit recently because this is a powder that again was kind of like my special occasion, an event kind of pressed powder, and it's the Urban Decay All Nighter pressed powder. This is definitely like an honorary mention to the starter kit because while I don't think that this is completely necessary to have in a starter kit, I think if you are wanting a very long wearing powder, this is the one that you get. This has like nothing has outperformed this powder, like as far as longevity. I don't set my entire face with this powder. I just set my T-zone because that's where I notice breakdown happening quicker or more quickly. And so that's where I place this powder at. But this is just such a great powder, especially if you are struggling with longevity for your makeup. I love this one. So I just thought I'd mention it. I know I talk about it kind of, you know, quite a bit on my channel, so I don't want to be redundant, but I do think it's worth mentioning in the starter kit, especially if you're, you know, thinking about spending that extra money to get, you know, really great quality. Then we have bronzers, and I have a powder option and I have a cream option. The powder option is actually my Glowish by Huda Beauty Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. I do have the shade 02 Medium, and this is a really nice bronzer, you guys. It is really, really beautiful on the skin. I love that it's not super pigmented, so it's definitely more beginner friendly. You can really dip your brush in and work it onto the skin and not feel like you're, you know, going in with too much at initial application. I love that you can build this one up. I love that you can just kind of like be a little bit more free with this product, if you will. I like it. I think that it is a little bit more radiant on the skin because it's definitely not a matte bronzer. And yes, I think that this is a good one. I think Huda did a great job with this one, and this is one of the few high-end bronzers that I have in my collection that I actually think is definitely you know, worth purchasing, including in a starter kit, etc. The cream bronzer that I wanted to mention is one that I've talked about a lot on my channel, but is not as much as the Milk Makeup one, and that is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer in the shade Seychelles. This is a mini, and the mini is available to purchase at Sephora. And this is a beautiful, beautiful cream bronzer formula. The shade is really nice as well. They do have, I want to say, a deeper shade. I'm not 100% sure about that, but this is a beautiful cream bronzer. The formula is so easy to work with. It's so easy to blend out. It's pigmented enough to where, you know, you don't feel like you're going in with so much at first application, but you're able to blend it out okay. You're able to build it up and all of that. And of course, I love the mint packaging or the teal packaging. I think it's really, really cute. But I just wanted to mention something other than my Milk Makeup bronzer because I love that one, but I wanted to mention something else. I think this one is just as good. And it's one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, which is a shame because it is really, really good. So I think that is a great, great option. And another thing too is it's in a pan form, so you can just get your brush and dip it in rather than a stick. Some people, you know, kind of have their issues with stick products because they think it's maybe not as sanitary. So that's another reason why I think this is a great starter kit, you know, type of cream blush or cream bronzer. Then I have, for blush, I have a powder option and a cream option. And one of them you can purchase at Sephora, one of them you can purchase at Ulta. The powder option, believe it or not, that I'm mentioning is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in the shade Warm Honey. So I kind of like neglected this within my collection for a little while, and then I pulled it out for one of my Get Ready With Me's. I think it was like my Thanksgiving Get Ready With Me, and I love this. It's so pretty. And again, this is in the shade Warm Honey. I love that you're getting almost two products in one because you're getting more of a shimmery blush and then a more matte blush on the other side. I love that about this product because it's more versatile. To me, it almost feels like you're getting more bang for your buck because you're able to do more with this blush because of the two options, if that makes sense. But I think that the shade Warm Honey is really pretty. If you don't like this shade, there are so many others. There's more of like a peachy shade. There's more of like a pinky shade. There's even deeper shades, like a cinnamon shade, I think, in there. So yeah, I love these blushes. I also really enjoy the bronzer as well, but I wanted to mention the Huda one today. But I think this would be great for your starter kit because of its versatility and because if you're already going to be spending that price tag, you can get more for your money, I think, with this one. However, if you are a cream product gal and you want a cream product, a cream blush within the starter kit, I highly recommend the Tower 28 Beach Please cream blushes. I have the shade Magic Hour. Now, I love the Melt blush lights. Like, I definitely considered mentioning those, but again, I wanted to mention things that are different, right? For your sake, right? But this is a really great cream blush. I will say it's not as beginner friendly as probably the Melt ones because these are pretty balmy. They're very, very pigmented, but I would just say dab a little bit at a time and then apply them on your cheeks. That way, a lot of times people use their fingers with this one. I just am not a finger person when it comes to applying my makeup. I much prefer you know, actually using like brushes and tools and all of that, except for my shimmer shade on my lids. That's the one thing. But anyways, I think that this is a really great cream blush, and they have a lot of really cute shades, like really cute shades. The shade Magic Hour is really stunning and perfect for every day, but they do have other shades, especially for like deeper complexions as well. So I think this is a really great cream blush to start with. And I want to say they're only $20, which $20 is still $20, but Tower 28 is one of the more affordable brands, if you will, found at Sephora. Now, I have one highlight to talk about. This is such a beautiful highlighter, you guys. I have really been loving this one this year. I did purchase it this year, and I definitely think that these Fenty Beauty Kilowatts Freestyle highlighters should be in your starter kit. I specifically have the shade Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, and I think if you are similar to my skin tone, this would be a great option. However, she has so many different ones available. She even has ones that look like they could be like blush toppers, and they look so beautiful. I just love this formula from her. I think that I love that one side is a little bit more creamy, and then the other side is definitely more metallic, because they're beautiful when you layer them. But then sometimes I go in with the more creamy one, sometimes I go in with just the more metallic one. And I mean, I love this. I love this shade. It's great for every day. It's great for special occasion. It's great for, you know, glam makeup, all of that. And again, I just think that she has so many beautiful shades available that you should be able to find a color for you in this formula. So I think this would be great as a starter kit highlighter, because of the amount of options that she has, and because the formula is really nice too. Then getting into, before I forget, let me talk about brows. So I'm pretty back and forth with my brow products. I really enjoy a lot of drugstore brow products, but I've noticed a lot of my brow products currently are high-end, and I think that's just the circumstances right now. I'm just trying to finish out what I have, but I still recommend the Abh Brow Wiz. I love this product. I specifically have the shade Medium Brown. You get a spoolie on one side and then the actual brow pencil on the other. Here is what this one looks like. Now, I don't think you necessarily need to spend the money on this one, because like I said, there are so many great ones from the drugstore. But I think if you were to get this maybe in a set as your starter kit, or maybe you just want to try this formula out because it does have a pretty good following, I think you'd be very happy. It's very easy to work with. The colors, like the shades that they have available, are so nice. Like Medium Brown has been one of my favorite shades, and one of the best shades from ABH that I've been able to use. So I love this formula so much, and you get a lot of product. I mean, I don't use this every day because, like I said, I have some other brow products within my collection, but still, this has lasted me for a while, but I still think it's a great formula. I don't have a brow gel to talk about because I just haven't really, although I actually really enjoy the Benefit Gimme Brow. I have the mini here. This is in the shade 3. This is a really nice brow gel, because of how tiny the brush is. Like, just take a look at how small this brush is. It's so mini, but it's perfect for really targeting in sparse areas. And I think it does a really great job at just providing some volume to your eyebrows, and also, you know, filling them in a little bit at the same time as like setting them down. So I really enjoy the Benefit Gimme Brow. Also, the Benefit Precisely My Brow are great options for brow products, but I've been just loving the ABH one so much. And then we have eye primer. Now, this is just the best eye primer. Like, I have not found anything better than this. I have a lot of eye primers within my collection, but I just think this one is the best one, and it's the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So it's just the MAC Paint Pots. I have the shade Painterly. Here's what it looks like. These have been around for a really long time, and they have been loved for a really long time. And I just think that these perform so well. I don't think maybe I've met someone that doesn't like them, but I think for the most part, a lot of people really enjoy these products. This is my favorite eyeshadow primer ever. I've been using this one since I was in high school, whenever I first discovered MAC. And yeah, I love this. I love that it gives you a little bit of coverage on your eyelids. So if you're dealing with any veins on your eyelids or redness, this conceals that. But then it's also, you know, really grabbing and adhering to your eyeshadows and making them last very well, you know, well throughout the day and all of that. So I just love this one, and it's my favorite. And you can find MAC at Ulta, depending on the location, but you know, obviously always in store or online. Now let's get into eyeshadows. So this is where I couldn't help but talk about Natasha Denona. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Like, I just think if you're doing a high-end starter kit, like, my favorite eyeshadow formula is Natasha Denona. And I think that if you are going to splurge and you're gonna shop at Sephora, like, Natasha Denona is the best eyeshadow formula, in my opinion. So please take that with a grain of salt. I love ABH as well. I think Huda Beauty has some really beautiful eyeshadow palettes, but I think as far as, you know, color stories, as far as formulations and pigment and just impact on the eyelids, I have just found, you know, my favorite formula in Natasha Denona. And I think that she has really done well for herself as far as her marketability of her brand, because of the fact that she has customers that are willing to pay full price. She has customers that are willing to get her stuff on sale. I mean, she's literally, like, I'm the type of person where I will purchase a Natasha Denona at full price, but I will also buy it on sale. Like, you know what I mean? Like, depending on, like, sometimes her stuff is so beautiful and I'm so excited about it, I will just go and purchase it full price. But then there's also times, for instance, when I purchased like the Zendo palette from her, I got that during her Black Friday sale. So anyways, she has just done so well with her brand and her marketing that she really has people, like, she has her customers' attention, in my opinion. But I think that her midi palettes, these $65 palettes, are a really great way to experience the Natasha Denona formula, but also get some really beautiful color stories. And they are $65, which is very pricey for sure. But like I said, I think that if you're wanting to splurge and you're wanting to just kind of start your kit, I think any of these midis are great for that. I have the bronze palette from her. This is more of a warm toned palette, very pretty. I also have the Glam Palette, of course, and this is the one that's on my eyes right now. This is more of a cool toned palette. Really stunning. This one is perfect for every day, and this might be the one that I recommend the most because it does lean the most neutral out of all of her midi palettes. I also have, if you're someone who loves color, I have the Love palette. Now this specifically is more pinky purple, but I still think that you can get some beautiful colorful looks with this one, and the formula is outstanding with this one. And then my favorite one right now, and it might be my favorite midi palette in general, is the Retro palette. And this one is absolutely stunning. Between this one and the Glam palette from her, I think that these are the best options, like the Glam and the Retro, because I think they're most they're the most appropriate, the most everyday wearing. But she also has minis as well. The minis are 5 pans for $25, and I think even those are a really great value. But I'm thinking, not value, but that's a great deal for getting 5 shadows from Natasha Denona, but it's great quality, great colors, all of that. But what was I going to say? I think that, again, if you're trying to build your high-end collection and you're wanting just to kind of like, okay, I want to get one eyeshadow palette, I want to get one foundation, one concealer, like all of that stuff, I think that starting with these would be really nice. But like I said, that's just my opinion. I think that there are so many other great formulas though. Like I said, I love ABH, Huda, who else? I haven't really like gotten a lot of eyeshadow palettes from like Sephora brands. I've noticed that. But yeah, I really enjoy these midi palettes from Natasha Denona. Now for mascara, I definitely want to talk about that. I don't have it right now, but I loved this mascara. I want to say it's the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara, I think. I'll try to put a picture on the screen. I love that mascara. I think it is so good. I never had any issues with it smearing or smudging, and it really did lengthen and volumize. I will say though, I have been blessed with good lashes. I'm not trying to like be boastful or anything. I just want to be honest that a lot of mascaras tend to work out for me because of that. So just keep that in mind. So if you've had a bad experience with this Ilia mascara, you know, by all means, try out some other ones. A lot of people, of course, love the Lancome. Is it Lancome? Yeah, the Lancome Monsieur Big. I really enjoy the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. That is the one that I'm wearing today. I just love the Ilia one. Like, I love that one, and I would definitely buy it again if I could get it on sale. Now let's get into some lip products. So firstly, I wanted to mention this lip balm. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. I have the shade Grapefruit. Really enjoy these. These give your lips just a little bit of a glow, but they smell so good. They smell amazing. The grapefruit one smells amazing. I also own the peach one. I asked for the gummy bear one for Christmas, so we'll see. That gummy bear one smells so good. But I love these. I think they are the perfect, like, throw it in your purse type of lip balm. Take it with you to work, because again, like, it's not giving you like pigment, but it's giving you just that beautiful look of almost like glassy lips or luminous lips. It's so beautiful. So I love these lip glowy balms from Laneige, and I really do recommend them, and I think that they're great for a starter kit. Now, speaking of lip balms, I really love these Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. I have two shades. I have Coconut and Rose. And these are a very unique formula. So Coconut is this darker one, and then Rose is the other one. These are a very unique formula because they're almost like a lip balm, lip gloss, lipstick hybrid. It's very interesting. They're very moisturizing on the lips, and they have very sheer color to them. Well, I guess it depends on the shade. Rose is very sheer, and Coconut it's sheer still because of the formula. It just naturally is, but it does give me some pigment, especially more than Rose. But they're just very comfortable on the lips, and I really gravitated towards them a lot this year because of, you know, still wearing masks and stuff. But yeah, I think that this is a very unique formula. They leave your lips feeling hydrated pretty much all day long. It's really amazing how they do that. I know that they have a set right now. It's like a set of 4 for a pretty good price. So I would recommend, you know, trying that set out if you're wanting to try out more, or just try these out in general. You can even gift them. So I really love that formula, and I was really trying to find something for like each lip product, like each type, right? So that's kind of like your, you know, lip balm, lip glossy kind of thing. And then like the Laneige is more of like your just classic lip balm. And now I want to talk about just lipsticks, right? So I have 2 lipstick formulas that are so beautiful. First off, I am so impressed with this guy. This is the Buxom Full Force lipstick, and I have the shade Supermodel. I picked this up from TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and I had just heard really great things about these lipsticks. So whenever I found them for such a great price, I picked one up. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, when I put this on, I was so impressed with how this lipstick made my lips look. Like, it is just such a stunning formula. And again, I have the shade Supermodel, which is a beautiful kind of like rosy, kind of nude color, mauve color. It's really beautiful. And again, this formula is stunning. It plumps your lips and makes them look more full, but it does it in a way where it's not like stinging your lips. Like, it's not like the Too Faced lip injections or anything like that. So it just really makes them have more of like a pout to them. It's so beautiful. I believe you can find these at Ulta. Then I just wanted to recommend this Natasha Denona lipstick. These are the I Need a Nude lipsticks. I have the shade Susanna. I wanted to talk about these and mention this one because while I don't think that these are like the best lipsticks ever. I think that I wanted to include them in a starter kit because there are so many shades. Like if you are just wanting a good nude for your, you know, complexion, for your skin tone, try this line. And I wanted to mention it for the starter kit for that reason. So again, I have the shade Susanna. I'm kind of tempted to pick up the shade Natasha because that's a beautiful nude color. So I am just really impressed with how many shades she came out with within this line. And also these lipsticks are only $25. I know that, again, like $25 is still $25, but the fact that it's Natasha Denona, I would have thought that they would have been closer to $30. So yeah, I love that there are so many nudes available for different skin tones. So check out this line if you are wanting to pick out a nude. And then I wanted to talk about some like liquid lipsticks. So I love the Too Faced ones. I talk about them a lot on my channel, so I wanted to talk about something different. And I wanted to talk about the Rare Beauty Lip Souffles. So I have this little set that they came out with last year for holiday, and the red is in the shade Inspire, and then the more kind of like, I don't know, grungy nude color is in the shade Fearless. And I really love these. I really love this formula. It is almost like a whipped texture. Like a lip souffle is like the perfect way to describe it because it feels almost like pillowy soft on your lips. The shade Fearless is really stunning. Like it's almost unique. It's so pretty. But what I love about these is they don't fade ugly on your lips. Like that's something that I always worry about, especially when wearing like a bolder color like red, for instance. I always worry that they're gonna give me like that, I don't want to say it on my channel, but you know what I'm talking about, kind of lip, like right in the center, or that it's just going to fade ugly. And I don't notice that with these. And I love that because they're very comfortable. So I'm not even thinking about them on my lips, but I also feel that they don't fade ugly, right? And so I'm not feeling self-conscious or anything like that. So I really enjoy these. And again, Rare Beauty is a little bit more affordable when it comes to Sephora brands. So I just wanted to mention these because I always talk about the Too Faced ones. And then I just have to mention a gloss, and of course I'm going to mention the Fenty Beauty glosses. The gloss bombs from Fenty Beauty are so good. My favorite shade is Fenty Glow. I did just pick up the shade Hot Chocolate though. I'm very excited to test this one out. I haven't used it yet. I know I'm like killing myself here. I don't know why I haven't used this yet because I wanted this shade for so long because so many people love this one. But the Fenty gloss bombs are just so good. They're a little bit thicker on the lips, I will say that, but they make your lips look so juicy, so glass-like. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They're just so good. They smell amazing. They smell like a fruity drink. It's amazing how they smell. So I love the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs. And then I wanted to mention these. These are definitely a cheaper alternative. I think these are $14. These are the Tower 28 lip jellies, Shine On lip jellies. And I have the shades Cashew and Oat. These are just so freaking cute. And I love this Tower 28 lip gloss formula. It's very similar to the Fenty where there's no stickiness whatsoever. However, these feel a little bit thinner on the lips, you know, compared to the Fenty ones. The Fenty, like I said, feels a little bit thick on the lips, but these Tower 28 ones, they definitely go on a little bit thinner, and they just feel so comfortable. And I love how sheer they are, but they still give you that little bit of wash of color. So I recommend these. I really do. And because they're only $14, I think it's definitely worth checking out. And then finally, I did want to mention for a makeup starter kit, a setting spray. Because, you know, if you're someone that is maybe new to makeup in general, you probably haven't really heard of a setting spray, or maybe you just aren't sure how you would use a setting spray. A setting spray is basically at your final step whenever you're done with everything, right? You set your face and you set it with a setting spray. And I recommend the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Mine is in the Summer Solstice scent, so this is not what it looks like packaging wise, but it's still like the same product. I recommend this one because, again, kind of similar to the Tatcha, this is going to really do that. It's really going to set your skin and set your makeup. Like, it is going to be bulletproof. It is going to last you, like, make your makeup last all day long. And I just truly think that this is making a difference whenever I use this. Like, I think it actually does something. And so I just wanted to recommend that one, because if you are at Ulta and Sephora and you're just like, I just want a good setting spray that's high end that I can try out, definitely look no further. Check out the Urban Decay one. But wow, I've talked a lot. Those are a lot of products that I just talked about or spoke about, but I just wanted to kind of do a starter kit for you guys, talk about which high-end makeup I think should be included in your high-end makeup starter kit. I hope that this was somewhat helpful. Again, I did do a drugstore version to this, so if you were interested, check out that video. I will link it in my description box. I really hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you again for all of your love and support, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!